You've got to say, David Moyes gets some stick, doesn't he? Isn't that 3 consecutive quarterfinals he's got him to in Europe?
I mean, they're into the quarterfinals now
again.
of this competition. Is he not getting enough credit?
I think he's been brilliant for. But look, West Ham are trying to go a different way. Whether it'll be there next season, we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's a style of football. Look, don't get me wrong, Dean. You've been a manager. It's all about winning football matches. What style? Look, they want to be a bit more football, and they've been weird this season because they got hammered against Arsenal, didn't they?
Yeah.
And everybody's there was saying, look, but you're only competing for 3 points, though. As a manager, you're saying, well, wait a minute, look, goal difference can come into maybe a couple of positions up or down, but you've only lost 3 points. You've got to forget about that and make sure we win the next one. That's the most important.
I think
game.
any manager who's managed will tell you it's the winning formula you're looking for, not so much the winning style.
Yeah.
You have to have the formula. We've not all got the best players. We can't all play out from the back and trust the midfield players to never give the ball away when they're facing the wrong way. Which happens to some teams. Once you start asking players who can't do that to play total football, then you lose the winning formula. So David Moyes, he's got a winning formula.
He won a trophy last year, there's no doubt, and that was a massive thing for the club. But I think they're mixed. I think it's half and half, if I'm being honest. I think they're looking at the style of football. Mm-hmm. I believe the club should be sold. I think West Ham is a sleeping giant. It really is. It's got the London, you've got the stadium, and it could be it could be a false. But I do believe if someone come in and put the money into the club itself, I reckon there will be pushing for that top 4. I really do believe they've got all the tools to do that. Whether it's with David Moyes or not is another matter. But what can he do? He's got some good players there. Paqueta. Kudos, Bowen. He's got some good attacking players. It's just getting that right mixture of defensive-minded and obviously attack-minded.
Do you think he's the right manager for now, Dean?
Yeah, I think... I always thought, as a manager, you find a winning formula, but you have to entertain the public at the same time. So we are in the entertainment business. So maybe that's the argument. If we all played long ball football and if we all played defensive football, nobody would be in the stadium watching it. So you are obliged to try and entertain the public, but the most important bit is finding a winning formula to keep yourself in a job and keep the club in the league.
It's a little bit like the Spurs fans now. Looking at Postecoglou, what he's done for the club. Now it's exciting football. The atmosphere is different over Spurs now. It's more attacking, and you know there's going to be chances and entertainment. And I think West Ham fans are pretty similar to that.
Well, we can speak now to Nicky Hawkins, host of West Ham Fan TV. Good morning, Nicky. How you doing?
Morning, Nicky.
Morning, Nicky.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? I'm very well. Thank you very much for asking.
Good. I'm glad you're with us because a few weeks ago you were very much so David Moyes out. Where do you stand on that today?
Listen, you've got to look at the result that's just gone, and sometimes you've got to, I accused him of not having the tools to do that, and he attacked last night, and he attacked with intent. Listen, one swallow does not a summer make is a saying that I always use, and you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. The problem I have with the way he approaches games is that he likes to revert to type. As soon as he's under pressure, he'll go out and he'll start attacking, and everyone will think, that's he's changing his ways. And then as soon as he can, and as soon as he has an excuse, he reverts to type to go back to the defensive way. But look, listen, I can't complain about last night. It was a magnificent performance, one of the best I've seen this season.
And was that one of your best, last season? I was saying to get to the conference final and win it. I'm sure every West Ham fans like you, Nicky, is saying, well, what a journey it was as well. Some great away travelling around Europe, enjoying watching our games. And, so what he's bringing to the club itself, I mean, as I said before, you've got to get the right balance. Would you say there's 50-50, Nicky? Some want him out and some say, no, look, wait a minute, he's doing well for us, what we're achieving at the moment?
I think you've got floaters. So you'll have a base of fans that will not have him whatever. You'll have a base of fans that think he's the Messiah, and then you'll have the ones that revert to type, and react to what they're seeing. Listen, I don't think, as I said to Jeff the other week, I don't think you ever can disrespect the job that the guy's done here. From where he's taken us, where he's taken us from, what he's achieved. It it does garner a level of respect that you've got to appreciate that. But there is a time when it comes that you want progress, and it was magnificent last night. It was approached in the right way. The balance was right. The attacking balance versus the defensive balance. It put us on the front foot, and that is where, I don't think he does himself any favours sometimes. He goes too defensive. You look at the game against Burnley on Sunday. First half we just wasn't there. If we'd attacked Burnley like we attacked Freiburg last night, I think we would have been out of sight within the first half. The same as the Freiburg game last week. So, yes, it was magnificent, but he's got to keep that philosophy. It shows, you look at the players last night, you look at Paquetá come off in the 60th minute, it was 3-0. He's throwing his shin pads on the floor. It looked like they was enjoying themselves, and it looked like they was enjoying playing that brand of football. Sometimes I don't get that from the players.
I think it was like rolling the clock back with Antonio last night. I mean, I know you have a job keeping him fit, but he makes such a difference when he's bang at it and he's turning clearances into goal-scoring opportunities. I thought he was brilliant last night.
That's what he's great at, though. He's not so great when he's got time to think and he's one-on-one through on goal. But when you've got him up against defenders, back against the goal, ready to turn, outpace people, get to the byline. I think he run them ragged last night. And yeah, he's a magnificent asset. He's been a magnificent player. He can be frustrating at times. But that's what Mickey gives you. And when he's on it, and he looked well up for it last night. And he was, a massive, massive asset last night.
Well, you're through to the next round. So do you think you would say a bit of a sorry this morning, Nicky, for what you said a few weeks ago?
I can't say, no, listen, I'm not saying sorry. I'm not going to say sorry. But what I would say is that, keep it up, David. Keep it up. This is what we want to see. If you keep on attacking games like this, you got to pick and choose your battles. I'm not. We are West Ham fans. I'm not stupid. Go up against Man City, against that, you're going to get slaughtered. You have to pick and choose your battles. But when you have an opportunity to come up against a side where, there will be space, there will be attacking options to take and goals to score, then take it. Don't wait for them to come to you before you go to them.
Okay.
But yeah, it was great last night, and I can't complain.
Well done, Nicky Hawkins, host of West Ham Fan TV. Thanks very much for coming on this morning. The quarter-final draw, by the way, for the Champions League, Europa League and the Conference League all happen from 11 o'clock today.
TalkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.